the Shadow Health Secretary, Andrew Lansley, has been making his speech to the conference, outlining what the Conservative Party would do with the NHS if they got into power. Now, Jim Hancock, political expert, has been watching that speech closely and the rest of the day's events. Jim, thanks for joining us. What did you make of the key points that were in Andrew Lansley's speech today?
Well, there were two. I mean, the main thing the Conservative Party is trying to convince people about is that they care for the National Health Service, and they've said they're going to ring-fence spending on the NHS. The other thing, of course, which has attracted a lot of attention over the weekend, and he repeated it this afternoon, is their plans for elderly care, this idea that people have to sell up their houses if they become in need of long-term care. The Conservative proposal is that people pay £8,000 when they're 65. Not all of them will need long-term care, but it's like an insurance policy. And that's been pretty well received, so it's quite an important policy area for the Conservatives.
OK, and another area that they've been discussing, almost even before the conference started, was Europe. Just summarise for us the significance of that.
Well, I've been at meetings around the conference. You won't hear Europe mentioned on the conference floor, but I've been at meetings around the conference, and the big question for this party, and arguably the only fly in the ointment, because there's a lot of sort of triumphalism and confidence at this conference, is this question of Europe. If the Treaty of Lisbon is ratified, what would David Cameron do? And I was in an audience this morning where they were getting quite angry, this is general members of the public in Manchester, that the spokesman on Europe wouldn't say, you know, if they try and renegotiate it, Europe will tell them to go away. So what do they do then? Do they then go for an option of pulling out of Europe? So Europe, which has always dogged this party as an issue, is there on the sidelines. The public don't care much about it, but people here care about it quite a lot.
So do you think it's quite deliberate, then, that they've kept that away from the main conference floor and kept it at the fringe events?
Absolutely, because it's a divisive issue. Cameron wants it to go away. He wants to sort of... he would like to have this referendum, but he knows he's probably not going to get it. And then what they do next is a burning issue. The truth of the matter is that they'll probably request concessions from the European Union. They won't get it, and they'll hope it goes away. But there are a lot of people here who don't want it to go away. There are some people here who actually do want us out of the European Union.
OK, and one of the star turns on the stage today, undoubtedly, was Boris Johnson. Went down a storm with the delegates. But what did you make of his idea that to stimulate the economy in Manchester, we need to plough money into London?
No, I didn't make much of that. It's a bit like the high-speed rail line. You know, it's a great idea, but it's a great idea because we want people to come up from London to live in the northwest, not for us all to be able to get down to London more easily. London is overheated. It needs no more money. We need the money here, and it's a dangerous message, especially when the Conservatives are trying to win so many seats in Greater Manchester and Lancashire.
OK, and you picked something up there from the conference. Just tell us what it is, what you make of it.
Well, here it is, Gordon Brown's Porky Pies. There's a lot of food stalls in there today. In fact, it's Harvey Nichols and Marks and Spencer's. That's unusual for a party conference. You can actually buy your Christmas cards as well in there. And you can also get Gordon Brown's Porky Pies. It's obviously propaganda with which I'm not at all associated, but I thought it was quite an innovative idea for getting a political message over.
A quirky little diversion. Jim Hancock, as ever, thank you very much.